Today in this video I'm growing cucumbers under these two Mars Hydro SP3000 lights, and I'm doing this to compare two different types of powder nutrients. I got the VEG+BLOOM brand here on the left and the General Hydroponics Maxigrow on the right. And in the previous video I grew lettuce doing the exact same test just to test the vegetative stage. In this video I want to see how much production we can get, how many cucumbers, and just generally look at the overall growth characteristics. If you want to see more information about what happened in that video, or just generally more information about these two different types of nutrients, go ahead and click the link at the end of this video. So right now we're going to go ahead and get this experiment started. I got one seedling in each, and we're going to come back and make updates as we go along. One thing you may have noticed is that the position of these containers on the floor are slightly offset from each other, and that's just because when I measure with my par meter is more exacting if I put those in those positions, just to be fair. The types of cucumbers I'm actually growing here are diamond hybrid. These are self-pollinating, and in a future video I'm actually going to be testing out the General Hydroponics Maxigrow for those who are interested. Alright, it has been exactly 1 month since I've started this experiment, and in an effort to keep these plants small, since the containers they are growing in are small, I'm going to prune the ends of these vines off. So I'm going to keep these short, they're going to branch off, and I'll just kind of keep them more compact, more like a bush type. Alright, it has been 2 weeks since the last segment of this video, and there's not a lot of progress to really report versus 2 weeks ago, but I got a little surprise for you here. As far as looking at the plants, they're pretty much the same at this point as far as their vegetative growth goes. Both growing the vines in the same way, flowers and little cucumbers growing on each flower, all pretty much the same. One thing I was noticing though is all the little baby cucumbers here growing at each flower, they're not really growing a whole lot. I would expect them to really start growing more. So I was kind of looking around, and then I realized, I should be checking underneath these leaves because they tend to grow closer to the plant stem. And look what we got here. So here's a nice sized cucumber right here hiding underneath that leaf. This is a normal size for this type of cucumber. It's a pickling cucumber, and actually this would be pretty much the maximum size for this. So I'm actually going to pick this one. But that's not the only one. There's actually another one over here on the other side hiding under this leaf. Same size. So there's two on that plant. And if we go over here and look at the other side, there's one hiding right under there. Same size cucumber. Maybe it might be just ever so slightly larger. Could be just my eyes playing tricks on me. And then I have another one growing on the back side of this one too. Oh, I guess I lied. Where is it? There it is. So both of these plants here are basically doing the exact same thing. They both have two cucumbers growing right near the crown of the plant, and they're both pretty much the exact same size on both of them. So that's probably why that it's not growing more cucumbers where all these vines are, is because it's been putting all the energy into those. And because these are such small containers, there's only so much nutrients to go around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick those, and I'm going to weigh them. And at the end of this video, I'll be just kind of going over the total amount of cucumbers per plant that they grew, and if they tasted any different, which they probably won't, but I'll be going over all that at the end of the video. Here's the two sets of cucumbers I picked off of each plant just so you can see them a little bit better, and it's pretty obvious which ones are actually larger. These here were grown in the VEG+BLOOM nutrients, and these were grown in the General Hydroponics Maxigrow. Now, I really have to attribute that to the Maxigrow just having a little bit more nitrogen in it. So we'll have to wait until this whole grow process is over to really average it out. But still, we're going to go ahead and weigh them just to kind of please the crowd here. These two are actually too heavy for the scale to weigh together. So what we're going to do is just weigh these individually. So we got the one here that's 103 grams, and then the other one here is 75 grams. And then over here, the ones from the Maxigrow, that one is 146.5, and then this one over here is 140.8, 141, we'll just call that. So obviously there's a pretty large difference. Now I know it's only two plants, and I'll discuss more about that maybe at the end of the video. Okay, just a quick update here. It's been some time, so I'm starting to notice some more cucumbers growing, and I have been doing regular nutrient change-outs on these. These tend to suck up a lot of water pretty quick, even though these are not very large plants. just like melons, the cucumber plants, these leaves, they tend to transpire quite a bit. Even sometimes you can even feel moisture on them. Compared to something like a pepper plant, this absorbs a lot more water and evaporates off the leaves a lot quicker for some reason. That's just how they grow, I guess. So anyways, I wanted to just make a quick update to show that we've got some more cucumbers growing. So there's a little one down there. There's another large one there. And then for this plant over here, there's one there, there's one there, and then there's a couple. Well, these aren't, I wouldn't even really call those cucumbers yet. They're more like baby cucumbers at this point, but yeah, there's some growth here. There's one down here. So not a lot, but it's still looking like the plant over there on the right side is still producing more from the Maxigrow. All right, I think today's the day we pick, count, and weigh our cucumbers and end this experiment. But before we do that, just kind of go over a couple things. Just an observation here, both these plants pretty much look the same. I mean, I couldn't really tell you that one was growing in a different nutrient solution than the other. As far as the roots go, throughout this entire experiment, the roots have looked great. They've smelled great. Right now, they're going to be a slightly off-white color because these plants are pretty much nearing the end of their lives anyways. But they were pretty much like a pearly white color through the entire thing. So that one there is the VEG+BLOOM, and this one here is the General Hydroponics. And this one just has maybe slightly more roots, and that would be a slightly bigger plant, which I'm assuming is also translating to slightly more or at least heavier cucumbers. So we're going to find that out. All right, here is the harvest, and I think the results here are pretty clear visually which one is actually the winner. But we're going to go and weigh these anyways. We'll start here with the VEG+BLOOM. And these three here weigh 365 grams, and if you count the other two cucumbers from earlier in this video that I picked from the same plant, that was about 543 grams total. And then here's the ones from the General Hydroponics. Go and weigh these. Oh, there you go, stay on there. There's too many of them. So that's about 614 grams. If you include the other two from the previous part of this video, there's about 901 grams. So almost double the weight anyways. So you're probably asking, you know, Ryan, why did you just grow 2 plants? Why didn't you grow more than 2 plants? Well, part of the reason is, especially when you're talking about cucumbers, is it becomes kind of messy, hard to maintain when you put more plants in one space. And I really wanted to do it with cucumbers. And that's mainly because plants like cucumber plants or melon plants, they grow very fast. They produce a lot of foliage and they produce a lot of produce. And in order to do that, you need more nitrogen. And it was a very good experiment to use plants like these that need more nitrogen to basically test the results, because that's mainly what we're looking at here. Is the main difference is this just has slightly more nitrogen, the Maxigrow. So this is an 8 and that's a 10 by weight. So there's more nitrogen, and obviously you're going to get more production, both with plant size, with foliage, and produce. You're going to generally get more. And I didn't really feel like I needed to do more than 2 plants anyways, because if you compare the results from the previous episode, it's pretty much the same exact trend. More nitrogen equals more foliage and more plant growth. Now, if you're talking about a flowering plant, that's different. We're going to get into that maybe a little bit later, probably in this year. But anyways, the main reason why I didn't do more than 2 plants for this, I probably would have done more, but the problem is, this is the problem right here. I am almost completely out of this VEG+BLOOM stuff. And because this is so expensive, that's the reason why I really didn't want to do more than 2 plants, because I didn't have enough of that, and I didn't want to screw anything up and run out and have to buy more. And I'm not going to be using that anymore. And that was the whole point of doing this experiment, was mainly for myself, to see if the Maxigrow can be used as a general purpose fertilizer, because that stuff there is a lot cheaper than the VEG+BLOOM, and that's why I don't want to buy anymore, because I really just want to move to that, and I want to see how that performed. And so far, I'm pretty satisfied with that. However, having said that, I've used the VEG+BLOOM plenty in the past with a lot of different plants and experiments, and I've never had any real complaints about it. It works really well. But in this case, obviously, this one did better. I can't say conclusively for this particular experiment with this plant that it did better, but that's the trend. So anyways, That's pretty much it for this video. I also opened up a merch store on my channel here, and if you're interested in buying anything like t-shirts, mugs, pillows, hoodies, anything like that, I got a few designs on there. Some of them are comical and other ones are just kind of weird, I guess. That's just me and my personality. If you're interested in any one of those, you can find links in the video description below for the store, or the direct link to the merch store. I think the prices are fair, and that's it for this video. We will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.